Yeah, welcome in. Welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live. Here we go again. And hopefully, y'all, this will be the last one that we have to talk about on this topic. But the topic is still hot, so we got to keep discussing it, right? And that's cool because it just keeps giving us content. Pardon me, y'all. It keeps giving us content on the topic, and this is an awesome topic indeed. Very entertaining, very interesting, and I'm sure great for the NBA as well. And if you saw the thumbnail, which I'm sure you did, that's why you clicked here. And if you see the rundown that we got, we are going to yet further discuss this LeBron and Stephen A situation. And it seems like every time Stephen A discusses this, we get a little more information, and he gets a little more vociferous. He gets a little more up in arms. He gets a little more, dare I say, theatrical, but he becomes a bit more aggressive with each retelling of this situation. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to get more information. Yesterday, he was on Gilbert Arenas. Was that the first time? I guess it was, right? He was on Gilbert Arenas, and he had a lot to say, man. So I really enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy it as well. I'm going to give you the spiel, and then we're going to go ahead and rock and roll. If you're watching here on YouTube, make sure you go ahead, click that subscribe, that like, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept aware anytime we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you enjoy the content as you listen, make sure you give us a like, a 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And write it down, put it in your phones, make a note of it. The Format Podcast is live Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. And finally, if you're really and truly enjoying the podcast and you want to help the show continue to grow, make sure you go ahead, click that join button, join the channel. We're going to have some exclusive content just for you. Yes. Join the channel, man. Just dropped some exclusive members only content last night, and hopefully we'll have some more up there for that this weekend. But we're going to go ahead and we are going to talk about LeBron James and Stephen A and that appearance yesterday on Gilbert Arenas, because Stephen A definitely went there to cook, and he definitely cooked, man. He definitely cooked. He talked about a whole lot of different NBA related topics, and it was actually pretty cool. It gave you some more insight into Stephen A, the person, and the type of journalist he is, and the way he goes about his business. So, I'm sure that maybe many people had some kind of negative ideas about Stephen A. Smith, negative feelings towards him. I know my guy Bruce is not a big fan of his, and I'm not saying that if you listen to this interview, you will become a big fan of his, but he definitely, he gave you some things to think about in terms of the way you may or may not perceive him. What's going on, Steve, the man, the myth, the legend? Good to see you. Appreciate the support always. But we're gonna talk about it, and definitely look forward to hearing you guys' opinions. Again, hopefully it won't be one of those 2-hour things. Actually, it can't be a 2-hour thing. Got some stuff to do, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop it, man. We're gonna drop it. Stephen S is greater than Stephen A. Might be, depending on what we're talking about. But definitely looking forward to getting into this with you. So, all right, quick background, right? So obviously we know last Thursday night, LeBron and Stephen A get into it. Well, LeBron James comes over and gives Stephen A tongue lashing of sorts, a very quick tongue lashing at the Knicks-Lakers game, and that became a big thing, kind of blew up across social media, blew up on ESPN as well. Stephen A addressed it that morning on his show. And then after that, after the weekend passed and we saw an interaction between LeBron and Richard Jefferson at the Lakers-Celtics games. What's going on, Sid Bubba, member of the channel? Appreciate you. After all that went on with Richard Jefferson and LeBron James, former teammates and champions together in Cleveland prior to the Celtics and Lakers game, then Stephen A, I guess, saw that, did some more thinking, and decided, I think I need to address this further on the Stephen A show, on the Stephen A Smith podcast, on Monday afternoon. And he did. And I did another show about that. You can check it out. Got further into it, described more about how he felt about things and kind of what went down, et cetera, et cetera. So, as I said, with each passing interview, he's getting more into it. He's giving us more. So, without further ado, man, let's go ahead and let's get into it. I think this is going to be very interesting. But before we do that, right, one of the things that really struck me about this interview, and after this, after you guys listen to this show, I would definitely encourage you to go and listen to yesterday's episode of Gilbert Arenas. It gave a lot of insight on a lot of different things. Obviously, it was too long for me to chop up the whole thing and get into it, but I have two things here, right? So the first thing is I want to touch on something that Gil said. And a lot of times we look at things and we say, when we hear athletes complaining about the way they're covered in the sports media, it is very interesting. And my thought as a media member is always like, look, man, you signed up for this. Do you think, and you've heard me say it, I said in life, nothing is only one side, right? You're never only going to get the positive in life. One side, you get the positive, the other side's going to be the negative. You have to accept that. You have to be ready for that, right? But Gil actually gave something of a really interesting perspective of the NBA player and how they feel about media criticism. So I wanted to share that with you. And then I wanted to come back and discuss it a little bit. And then we'll get into the Stephen A comments later in the show. So I thought it was really interesting. So let's go ahead and check that out first.
Think about just growing up, period.
Yeah.
AAU, high school, college, we're heroes. The first time we actually ever hear something negative is when we get to the NBA.
Yeah.
Right? If we're going to get booed, we're going to be booed on the road because we're good. So the first time we hear some shit about us is usually from a beat writer or in the news.
Okay.
It can be 100% correct. I don't like you.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I took 35 shots.
Yep.
You called me out. That me and you got a problem now.
Right.
And that's just us.
That was so interesting when I heard it because I had never even thought about it from that perspective, right? Laker Nation, what's going on, brother? How are you? Another member of the channel, our first ever member of the channel, arguably our most esteemed. Really appreciate you being here. Nah, everybody gets love here, but you're definitely up on that list, man. Also, Kenyon Perry, I haven't seen you here before, so shout out Kenyon Perry. Appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, man. Appreciate you being here. So back to the Gilbert comments that we just heard, right? He says, everything we hear about ourselves from high school, AAU, college, it's all positive. And then when we get to the league is the first time we probably ever hear something negative about ourselves. And it's normally from the news or from a beat writer. And even if it's 100% true, I don't like you. And now we have a problem. That's just the way we are. So I thought that was a really interesting insight into the way NBA players look at that. And it's something that I had never even considered before. But on one hand, it's totally understandable. It makes sense because conditioning is a real thing, right? Conditioning is a real thing with people. Conditioning is a real thing with animals. It makes a lot of sense, right? And so when you look at it and you say, okay, you say, wow, this person has been made and they've heard nothing but positivity about themselves, basically their whole basketball lives to get to this level of the NBA. And now they're in the NBA against the best of the best of the best of the best, right? Because how many of us grew up playing basketball, whether, in high school or on the playground or what have you, right? Less than 1% of all basketball players ever make the league, right? Elijah Morris, what's going on, brother? What's going on? It was a very interesting interview to hear Stephen A. Smith's point of view. Absolutely. And I liked it. But yeah, so less than 1% of all people who play basketball ever make it to the professional level, right? And so think about how many people grow up, want to hoop and have the hoop dream of making it to the NBA. Just think about how many people that is. And to make it to the NBA, 420 jobs in the league, 450? That's insane. So anyway, for Gilbert to put it that way, that we hear nothing but positivity. It's not that serious. What's going on, brother? Another member of the chat. Good to see you. Member of the channel, excuse me. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, for Gilbert to put it that way and say like, all our lives we've heard nothing but positivity. So the first time we hear something negative, it's on the news or from a beat writer, automatically, I don't like you. That conditioning is strong. Like rationally, that you're not perfect and you'll make some mistakes and there's got to be some room in there for you to be criticized by the media. But from what you've been hearing your whole life, conditioned and never hearing the negativity, I thought that was really, really cool. So he says, I don't like you to the media member and we have a problem. I'm like, I can't believe that I never considered that before. Like, that's deep. All right, but anyway, I just thought that was a really interesting look into the mindset of most NBA players. All right, cool. So now let's go ahead and we'll get to Stephen A. Smith and his commentary on Gil's Arena. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and put it back to the beginning. There we go. Yeah, so here's what I did, right? Because obviously Stephen A. Smith was on the show for more than 2 hours, and he talked about this particular topic for more than an hour. And obviously I'm not going to sit here and cut an hour and have you guys listen to all that. So I think, what do we have? About 13 and a half minutes. Absolutely, Laker Nation, he was cooking. I got about 13 and a half minutes here. So I cut the pertinent parts, and by now you know how I do. We listen, we break in, we talk amongst ourselves in the chat, and at the end, I go ahead, wrap it up, then we take calls. All right, so it's going to be a lot of interruption during this commentary, but really good, and I definitely have thoughts on it. So let's rock and roll, y'all. Let's go. Round 4, ding, ding.
Shaq, let's talk about that real quick.
Sure, no problem.
But by now, everyone knows about the situation with you and LeBron.
Right.
That's the biggest
Thursday.
shit I ever seen.
Thursday.
That was cool.
Let me get to this.
His fun.
By now, everybody knows about the situation with you and LeBron. Last Thursday, Knicks-Lakers game in Staples Center. During the stoppage and play, we've got the video as a reminder for viewers. During the stoppage and play between third and fourth quarter, Bron pulled up on you. Wanted some smoke with you.
Yep.
Brief interaction. Obviously, LeBron took issue with things that you have said, particularly about him and Bronny. Right. So here's the clip. It's very quick. Tried to get the liberating. I hope the Legends got at least close to what happened. But I want to spin it forward to the Lakers-Celtics game on Saturday. Before the game, the ESPN Twitter account posted a clip of Richard Jefferson and LeBron talking before the game. The Legends once again on it. They seem to be talking about that situation that went down on Thursday during the Lakers. Obviously, Lakers won that game. You were there. You saw Luka out there cooking LeBron as well. But that's neither here nor there. But you addressed it on Friday, First Take, and on Stephen A. Smith Show, your podcast on YouTube. You addressed the LeBron and RJ exchange on Monday on your show. So what do you make of LeBron confronting you in the aftermath of that situation?
I thought it was weak. I thought it was some bullshit. But in the moment, I knew that I was listening to a father. Here's what.
Oh, so first, I forgot to give the disclaimer. If anybody listening has kids in the room or anything like that, just be advised there's a fair amount of profanity here, and you know how these guys talk on Gil's Arena. So if you want to turn this off, listen to it later. If you want to send your kid out of the room, please do so, because there is a fair amount of profanity, and I don't want to be responsible for exposing anyone's child or, anyone with soft ears to that. So real quick, what was interesting, one, I love the way Stephen A. started out with that, right? He says, I thought it was weak. I thought it was BS. You'll hear throughout the course of this interview, I've never heard Stephen A. speak so strongly in response to LeBron. So this is good. I think he's finally been pushed over the edge, and he's like, I'm going to tell it. And he's going to say a lot of stuff, which was super cool. And secondly, I do find it interesting, and it makes me wonder, how does Stephen A. really talk when he's not either on his podcast or on ESPN? Because he used more profanity in that interview yesterday than I've ever heard him use. And I thought that was very interesting. And I'm not, again, denigrating people who use profanity. I think that I've become a bit more sensitive to it than since I personally have made that attempt to stop using it, but it was very, very interesting. So, I thought that out the gate, you heard what he said. It was weak and it was BS. And I love that. So let's go on and continue to listen to what he has to say.
What happened? So I remember during a timeout in the first quarter, seeing Bronny. Bronny looked over at me, and he had this sad look on his face.
So that's the first thing. That's a new detail in the story that we hadn't heard before. And I think also we have to pay attention to the fact that each time he has told the story, there's been new details given out. And I think, remember, I kept asking, why is he still holding back? Why does he still have kid gloves and discussing this thing? And I think this is the first time we're really kind of hearing it all. And I really like that. So I thought that was cool too, that he's just letting it go. But yeah, he looked at Bronny looked at him, and he had a sad look. And I think that's interesting because I don't know if he says it here, but he's almost kind of intimating that was whatever triggered LeBron to go off later in the game. But we'll continue.
And I'm imagining Pop saw that shit. It hit him. Yeah. And he couldn't hold it, and he rolled up. And so when I went on the air the next morning, first things first, believe it or not, I know this is shocking for people to believe, But I didn't have any intentions on talking about it until I woke up that morning and saw that the shit had gone viral. Once the shit had gone viral, the bosses at ESPN, now you got to talk about it. So this is you and him. You got to talk about it. I said, fine. So I go on the air and I said, the first thing that I'm going to do is establish that this was a father talking to me, not a player. And that was what threw me off. And I was glad, even though I thought that he misrepresented the argument, I was glad he did. Because you see, what he was really talking about, which was confirmed with his conversation with Richard Jefferson, is that I was talking about him as a father. And so what happens is that had he said that to me, then I wouldn't have been thrown off. I'd have came right back at him. Yes, I was. I was talking about you. You did this shit, which I'll get to in a second. But because he didn't do that, I said, fine, you let it go. Mind you, I just agreed to my contract. Courtside. That day was when it was announced. It's all over, everywhere. Watch about it. Be right. Yeah. It's a nationally televised game. The cameras are rolling, and I'm like, if I do anything, this is gonna be a scene. Now, we can sit up here in front all we want to and act like we don't work for somebody. Damn it, I work for Walt Disney.
So, all right. So I thought that was cool. But quick question. He's saying if I had done something, it would have been a scene. Just out of curious, like, what would he have done? I guess just yell back at LeBron or curse him back out because we know that wasn't going to get physical. Like, that wasn't going to happen. Unless Stephen A. Smith been training with Ip Man, then he probably would have got bodied by a 6'9", 270-pound guy, right? But I don't think he meant fighting. I just threw that in there because it was funny that he mentioned, if I had done something. I think he was referring more to if he had decided to respond in a very loud or aggressive or profane fashion. That's what would have happened.
And if I had gotten into some shit with him at courtside right there at that moment, no matter how right I would have been, it would have been wrong.
That's true.
And I was like, I'm not going to do this. But once I saw the tape of him talking to Richard Jefferson Saturday night in Boston, that was when I got really pissed because that was confirmation. Now let's get to the father thing. I'm so glad y'all asked me about this shit because all I would ask is that I've been around for 30 years. Tell me the parent that said they heard me talking about them. I've never done it. What happened was this man was the one that said, you want me, draft him. I'll come play anywhere he's at. It ain't even about the money. This man is the one who said he's better than some of the NBA players are right now when he was in high school. If you go back and look at the tape, back then I said, stop. You can't do this. If you do that shit, you're bringing more pressure on your son. LeBron, stop. I said it then. This is before he got drafted. Stop doing this. He goes to USC. He got the heart ailment. I'm like, thank God he's okay. He gonna be all right. But I'm not going to go see him at USC, just like I didn't go see him at Sierra Canyon, because I ain't see Melo's son. I heard your son is all world. I ain't see him. Your son, I never saw these guys until they came pro.
Real quick, when he says your son and your son, he's talking about Gilbert Arenas' son as well as Kenyon Martin's son. So he's talking about both of those guys. All right, let's go.
Because I know, no, it's not that. Okay. I know that because of who I am and what I've established for myself in this industry, if I walk into an arena, everybody is looking for me to critique that person. And I don't want to do that because they want to come up. I'm not covering college, I'm covering pro.
And they kids.
Huh? Yeah. And they kids. Well, I'm saying that, but if I was a college reporter, then I would have had to, but I wasn't. So why am I going to be there? I didn't want to put that extra pressure. So I never went. I went on national television and announced to the world, I'm not going to see him. He goes to USC. I'm not going to see him. It's too much. It's too much. And then now he's got to overcome this heart ailment, so I can't judge him. But then they said, oh, he going pro. So then once you say he's going pro, okay, you're talking to the scouts and the evaluators and everybody else. Yo, man, this is them. He'll be lucky to be a second-round pick.
So real quick, he's about to really start telling it now, like really start dropping stuff that I thought was super interesting. So already he's telling now, the scouts are telling the truth about he'll be lucky to be a second-round pick. Let's keep listening. You'll hear some more.
He'll be lucky. He ain't ready, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I ain't seen him, y'all. I haven't seen him. Then all of a sudden, Rich Paul and others at Clutch, and then the story headlines follow. Boston might be interested, Golden State might be interested, Phoenix might be interested, Clippers might be. You start hearing all of this, and you're like, this could be true, or this could be them wielding their magic.
Okay. So you heard that, right? This could be true, but this could be them wielding their magic. Now, remember, somebody that y'all know well, me, has constantly been saying that LeBron's career has been so much of a mirage, right? Manufactured, packaged. We heard yesterday when Stephen A was talking about how Bronny, right? How Rich Paul said Bronny should be packaged and presented a certain way, right? Okay, cool. So we got that. Now we hear him talking about how they're wielding their magic. What he's doing is giving us confirmation about what we already know and what some of us have been saying for a long time now. Let's see. Obviously, what's up, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I don't know if I've seen you here before. Obviously, SA hasn't seen that 25-5 average in the G League. Now, okay, cool, but I think blah, 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 you're missing the entire point. For more kind of information on what I think about this, I don't know if you've been to the channel before, and if you have, thank you. I don't know if you've listened to what I've said about this before, but I have 2 previous lives discussing this same particular topic, and as more information comes out, I've expounded on it. But I would love for you to check those out after this show, man. I appreciate you being here. SA whole career is hating on Braun. Talk about manufactured. Are you kidding me? Y'all BM are a joke. Quick to down each other. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Don't know who you are, but we don't talk like that here, but that's all right. But anyway, SA's whole career is not hating on Bron. He has been one of the main people in the ESPN machine, instrumental in propping up Bron and lying about it. So we're going to chill with that. Nino, what's going on, my brother? How are you? Yeah, I'm trying to, man, trying to. You know I love doing this. You know I love being here with y'all, man. It's good to see you, Nino. Let's carry on.
To make it look such a way. I say nothing. He gets drafted by the Lakers, which everybody knew was going to happen because, the skids were greased, and he gets drafted. I still say nothing. He goes into the pro. It's opening night. Now, remember, most cats
check this
talk
out,
about
y'all.
the league. I cover it. What I mean by that is that you can give your opinion. You might not be on the phone with the commissioner. You might not be on the phone with the executive VP. You might not be on the phone with other people that work in these offices. I am. So because of that, I'm hearing all of this. Yeah, we just going to go along with it. Open the night I'm talking about. Open the night. And we just going to go along with it. Or you hearing the Lakers are just going along with it. You're hearing this stuff. Now, I'm not saying they told me that, meaning the commissioner or Jeannie Buss, but I'm saying you're hearing that from those organizations.
So you hear that, right? Everybody knows it's all BS, right? They tried to frame it like it was this amazing thing, but Stephen A is now telling you that people in the league office, executives from other teams, we just gonna go along with it. Now, this is 2 things, right? One, it speaks to something that Bruce loves. He loves the fact that, not this Bruce that normally listens into the show, one of our main guys from B-More. The first thing is that it speaks to the power that LeBron James has. Cool. And the second thing it speaks to is the fact that so many people know that it's all BS when it comes to that guy. So many people. And now Steve is letting the cat out the bag. He's not saying the names because he can't do that, but he's letting the cat out the bag. And again, remember, what have I told y'all? All you have to do is sit back long enough and you will find out that this Bruce was right when it comes to LeBron, right? I've been saying for years, this is manufactured, this is phony, he gets away with this and that. I've been saying it. And now as his career is coming to a close, everybody's suddenly telling the truth. This is amazing, isn't it? Kasim, what's good, brother? What's good? I think I've seen you here before, but if not, please make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button, man. I appreciate you. Edward says, Bruce, for sure, 2 things for certain. This is not going to jeopardize LeBron or Stephen A's legacy. No, not at all. Not at all. I think the NBA is loving this because it's bringing tons of attention, both in the independent media space and in the mainstream media space. The NBA is loving this because they're finally, after a long time, trying to get a leg up when it comes to dealing with the NFL. And think about this, right? for the last month or so, the NBA has been kind of on top in the sports world in the United States, which is an unusual phenomena, right? So, I mean, remember, they took over Super Bowl week after the Luka trade to the Lakers, and they've been on top pretty much ever since, with Luka and the Lakers being the main story. Now this Stephen A. and LeBron James thing blowing up. So the NBA, loves this. Blah, blah, blah says he and Skip been Jordan Dick Ryan for 20 years trying to. Okay. Yeah. Right. All right, bro. You got it. I'm not even going to argue with you. You got it. Wow. All right. Yeah. By the way, do your research on that supposed LeBron and Jordan in that game. Okay. Clearly you're a LeBron guy, and that's cool. Why don't you read LeBron's book, in which it will say that he wrote in his journal that he never played. He didn't play with Jordan in that game. He didn't play against him either. So go ahead. All right. Yeah, Transformer. Yeah. All right, man. Come on, man. You know how I gotta cook, man. I gotta cook. And sometimes it's a slow cook. Not gonna be as slow as some of the other stuff, but I gotta cook. You know how I do. All right, let's get back to it.
So I'm getting all of this. One of those cats standing there.
Staples Center.
Ken Griffey, Senior and Junior, who all stars, Hall of Famer, and Ken Griffey Jr., they got them there. And again, I've been covering it for 30 years, not NBA, sports. You understand? So how you think it's all looking to me? It's a little bit too choreographed. But I'm...
Whoa, did you hear that? How do you think it's looking to me? It's a little bit too choreographed. Now, this is the same guy that the day after and days prior was banging the drum. Oh, this is so wonderful. This is so incredible. Oh, this is such a wonderful moment for the James family and for LeBron James, and he deserves this, and Bronny deserves this, and for the NBA, and da-da-da-da-da, right? Banging the drum, playing the clutch sports line, right? Now he's out here telling it. He's out here telling what everybody knew. He's out here telling what I knew and what I said and what I got called a hater for, right? By all the LeBroniacs, right? But it's cool, man. It's cool. Look at this guy. Blah, blah, blah. You're a joke, bro. Bron is the king. You probably listened to that song, man. You know the song. Oh, man. Anyway, we'll go ahead.
I'm still like this. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking, let's have this moment because LeBron deserves it. The brother, how nice. I got him number 2 all time behind Jordan, right? He's done so much for the league. He's generated so much money. I want to hear about Bronny and the $8 million. As far as I'm concerned, LeBron underpaid. Shit, that's $8 million he should have had in his pocket. It's no big deal to me. But the one thing I did say was that one game right there is the moment. Now you got to go to the G League and earn your stripes. Instead, he's playing and playing and playing. And I'm getting stats. And he go against Philly. They put him in the first quarter. And Tyrese and them gave it to him. And then they plaster on SportsCenter 0.3 points, 0.3 rebounds, 0.4 assists, blah, blah, blah. And I said, damn. Why? Because I'm like, now I can't ignore it. Because...
See that? He tried to ignore it, but he got put in a position where he had to be critical, which is amazing to me. And I get how he explained it, but it is annoying how so many people in the sports media really tried their best to lie to us about what we saw with Bronny and how it came about. Quick shout out to my man, Edward. That's what I'm talking about, Edward. Bars. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, Rakim Allah. That's what I'm talking about. Do that more often, Edward. You'll get more time on the screen. No, but let's go ahead and get back to it. I love the fact that Stephen A. is out here really telling the truth now.
How am I doing my job? If now you put me in a position where because they put the stats up, everyone is blowing it up. They're putting it on all their social media pages. And it's like, how all of that's happening, but Stephen A. Smith got nothing to say? I can't get away with it no more.
Nope.
So I go on the air and I say the same thing I said over the summer. Yo, LeBron, if we see this, you're his dad. and you're a basketball savant. You must see this.
So that was interesting right there. That was one of the things that I said so many times. Like, LeBron, this is part of the reason that I knew it had to be more about him than about his son. Because if you're that guy that's supposed to be so brilliant at basketball and you're better than half the GMs in the league, so I've been told by others, at the end of the day, there's no way you can tell me you look at Bronny and think that he's as good as you're trying to sell us on him being. There's no way. You know better than that. You know better. And it's really interesting, too, how this stuff went on, right? So remember, the plan wasn't originally for him to go to the G League. That wasn't the original plan. Then I guess they got a little pushback on that. Then it was, okay, he's gonna sign the two-way and he's gonna go up and down between the G League and the league, right? Because after that first game and they started really getting pushback, they're like, okay, we're gonna man, chill, be patient, bro. Damn. So so then he's like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna send him down to the G League, and then, as soon as he has a good game or two in the G League, they pull him right back up. They let him play. And of course, that's when the Philly debacle happened. And now he's been spending most of his time in the G League, where he has, again, and I've admitted this, really improved in the G League. But we talking about on the damn NBA level. That's, it hasn't been official. Brian Harkin, what's good, my man? Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Great point. This is a publicity stunt now. Everybody's talking about Bronny James. And I don't know if it was Sid Bubba or somebody else who called in on the show yesterday or earlier when they were saying that a big part of this was, because I've always said LeBron believes in that whole no such thing as bad publicity, right? And maybe this whole thing, part of it is to get Bronny back into the sports media news cycle, right? I think that's probably a big part of this. So I think it was Sid Bubba who said that. So if it wasn't, pardon me, but whoever said it, shout out to you for saying that. But yeah, I definitely think this is a publicity stunt. And again, I don't think the NBA per se set this in motion, but they're loving that it's happening because it's bringing so much attention to the league. Let's go.
Don't do this. Because you're putting him under such a microscope. It's going to be too much for him to overcome. Give him a chance. So that's what I said. And because I prefaced it by saying, as a dad, the only reason I said as a dad is because you marketed yourself as his dad to help him get into the league. Mm-hmm. You didn't do that. Melo didn't do that, or hasn't yet. And I know he wouldn't. D-Wade, Tim Hardaway Sr., Rick Barry, the list goes. None of them did that. None of them.
Facts.
He's the only one. And I said, yo, that's why I'm saying this to you. I don't want to do this. I know your intentions are honorable. Go back and watch the whole tape of me saying it. I know your intentions are honorable. I know you don't mean harm. But there's some vultures out here, and they're going to come for him. And how many times over the years, to get to your point, in terms of what you asked me about what you expect from me, Stephen A., blah, blah. How many find the brothers in the industry that will tell you I did not give them a lookout? I go up to them all the time. Yo, come here. I'm not going to be able to help you if you get to this point. You need to stop this shit right now.
So this is interesting, right? Because remember I read you the message that I got the other day when somebody, I'm not going to say the name, but somebody was going at Stephen A., talking about how they love the fact that LeBron flexed on him because a lot of people don't like Stephen A. for blah, blah, blah. And then remember when Bruce called in, he said Stephen A. is not liked in the black community, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, well, I'm a member of the black community and I think Stephen A. is okay. But anyway, the point I'm trying to say is I thought it was very interesting because now you're hearing some of the stuff, right? Stephen A. pulling guys to the side, say, hey, I'm trying to help you. I'm giving you a heads up on what's coming down the pike. Get yourself together before it gets out of hand, right? Also, he talks about how he raises money for the HBCUs, him being a proud graduate of Winston-Salem State University. He talks about that. Now, I'm not saying Stephen A. is some perfect dude. I don't know Stephen A., but I have heard that he's done, good work for a lot of up-and-coming minority journalists, et cetera. So I haven't worked with him personally, but that's something that I would hold dear and I would say is positive. So this whole narrative of black Stephen A. is not liked in the black community. I'm like, where'd that come from, And where's this narrative that, black people want to see Stephen A. fall? I don't know. It's interesting, but let's go ahead.
Because it's coming. It's coming. That, to me, is where I reach back and I pay back by giving cats the heads up of the minefields, because I've been here for 30 years. I got fired. I lost my job. They thought my career was over. I've been through all of this shit, all of it. And I'm like, yo, I know where the minefields lie. And I'm telling you what's coming. And then this shit go down and everybody act like I never said none of this. I'm like, I said, this fucked up. Because if you go, it's all on tape. If you go back, I gave the heads up. You understand what I'm saying? You got to ask, Melo, listen to Melo.
So this is interesting. Right now he's referring to other guys in the league who have sons who came along, and that's why he's bringing up Melo. So check this part out when he says this.
Listen to Melo talk about how he had to step back. You know, he was desperate for his son to go to Syracuse, but he didn't want to influence him. You said Melo never talked about his son like that. You had to ask him. And so you see a lot of this stuff happen, and then you see this. And I'm like, so as a media member, now this is the part y'all may not take into consideration.
So real quick, when you heard him reference Melo, and also in this clip, again, there's so much that I didn't include here, but I just wanted to give you guys a thought and some of the different stuff that he was saying versus a lot of what he was saying in the previous iterations of him discussing this incident. He brings up Melo because he says, also he brought up Kmart, he brought up Gil's son, and he says, listen, y'all don't talk about your sons like that. That's why it's different. Not necessarily because it's LeBron, but because of the spotlight that LeBron put on his son with the way he was talking. And I don't know why that's so hard for so many people to understand, but I guess, when you're a LeBroniac and you think that, what does Stephen A like to say? You fart and it smells like perfume. I think that's the expression he uses, but that's how LeBroniacs behave. I always say they think that he walks on water, heals the sick and raises the dead. And that is how they behave. So I'm like, but you don't hear anybody else's a parent who has a son that's a high-level player talking like this, right? Doc Rivers didn't talk like this. Patrick Ewing didn't talk like this. Like he said, Tim Hardaway Sr., all of Rick Barry's boys are played in the league at one point or another. He didn't talk like this, so on and so forth. We can go down the line. You don't hear Ron Harper talk about his sons, Carlos Boozer talking about his sons. Like, you don't hear that. And so it's really, really interesting. Exactly, Laker Nation. He said that. If Bron had said, yo, I want to talk to you, then he would have talked to him man to man, and we wouldn't have known about any of this. But to that point, clearly LeBron wanted it known. That's why he handled it the way he handled it. And, this was another interesting point, right? So remember I said that this happened the other day. When I first talked about this, I said it happened after the game. I was wrong. I corrected that. Then I said it happened between the third and fourth quarter breaks. I found out I was wrong, and I need to correct that as well. It actually happened during the third quarter, during a timeout. So now, you've heard me say, if you've been around this show as well, that I don't believe LeBron respects the NBA and the game. I believe he loves what it has provided him, his quality of life for himself and his family. Respect due. It's helped to make him a billionaire. It's been the primary vessel for him becoming a billionaire. Respect due. I don't think he respects it. And why is one of the reasons that I don't respect it? This incident happened during a timeout. That's why it went by so quickly as well. LeBron walked over there during a timeout, right? When he should have been in the huddle with his team, he walks over there to curse somebody out and then keep it moving. Like, that, to me, that's no respect for your coach, no respect for your teammates, no respect for the game, no respect for the NBA. Like, that is absurd. That's absolutely absurd. Sign of the Times HQ. Never seen you here before, I don't think. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. SAS is a sellout tether. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what that means. But I'd love to hear, when I open up the phone lines, you call in and tell me why he's a sellout, because that'd be an interesting take. But yeah, let's go ahead and get back to the commentary, which is almost over. We got about 3 more minutes here, and then I'll finish up, and then we'll go ahead and open up the lines. It's going a lot faster than I thought, but let's rock and roll some more.
You don't have to care, but we do. If I don't say nothing, wait a minute now. I would have said something about somebody else. I'd have said something before.
Okay.
How long am I supposed to go without doing my job?
Exactly. How long is he supposed to go without doing his job? All right, Henny Hardaway, let's talk about this real quick, all right? Approaching a man to his face to let him know you don't appreciate his movements is how men handle conflict. Yes, but let's check this out, right? the way LeBron went about this, don't try to say that was manly. Because one, LeBron is the most passive-aggressive dude we've ever seen, especially for a dude that physically imposing. We've seen that for how many years, right? Now, check this out. When Kendrick Perkins was making his comments that LeBron didn't like, he had Rich Paul call him. He didn't walk up on him, right? He could have. Kendrick Perkins is all over the league, right? He's league media now. He could have walked up on K. Perkins, said what he had to say, but he didn't. Why? K. Perkins, 6'10", 6'11", over 300 pounds, right? The great Magic Johnson said that Bronny wasn't ready, talked about him in a way that LeBron allegedly wouldn't like, right? Check the earlier, the first show I did on this topic a few days ago, probably on Friday, I guess. And I actually put that quote up on screen, right? The great Magic Johnson made that comment. He didn't walk up on him, right? Why? Magic is about 6'9", 250. Magic could look him in the eyes. He wasn't doing that, right? Charles Barkley made similar comments about Bronny. He didn't walk up on Charles Barkley. There's nobody LeBron James can't get to if he doesn't want to get to him, right? He can go see any one of those people, but he walked up on Stephen A. Why? Because Stephen A. is about 6'3", about 200 pounds. That's why he walked up on him. He thought he was going to make him look tough. And he did it in, remember the last video I did, LeBron made a real sucker move. He did it in a sucker way because he did it in a way that Stephen A. wouldn't have an opportunity to respond to him. He did it during the timeout. So he said, I can go curse him out, say what I got to say, and keep moving without the possibility of a response. That's what this is, man. That was real. That was a real sucker move. And the fact that you don't see it, that's bothersome to me. So let's not try this approaching a man to his face to let him know you don't appreciate his movements, how men handle conflict. Also, if that's what we're talking about, you're a billionaire, right? Do you really need to do that? Stephen A. is a peon to you. Do you really need to do that? But nah, this wasn't just about Bronny. This was about him, about his ego. He didn't like it, and also, he wanted to get his son back in the media cycle. So he's done that as well. There's a lot going on here, definitely. So I definitely disagree with you, bro. Let's see. Brian Harkins says it was a publicity stunt, and who does publicity better than Stephen A. Smith? That's true. That's true. Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely working well, I think, in everybody's favor in this situation. Henny Hardaway says, you can't read a man's mind, Bruce. No, I can't. But what I'm telling you is we have never seen this guy in 22 years walk up on anybody of comparable size and strength. That's a fact. We can't say we've seen that. And he's had ample opportunities, right? All he does is go whining to the refs, roll around on the floor like he got shot, right? If it's during the game. If it's after the game or offline or what have you, again, when has he run up on Perk? He had Rich Paul call Perk. He didn't run up on him. He could have, right? When did he run up on Barkley? He didn't. When did he run up on Magic? He didn't. People of comparable size and strength he doesn't want any parts of. He ran up on Stephen A. because Stephen A. is considerably smaller than him. Sucker move. Definition of a sucker move. Nino says, S.A. said Rich Paul tried to call before Bron appeared him and said it made him mad and went on another rant. He said it on First Take. I didn't hear him talk about that. And this is the third interview now that I've heard him discuss this situation. But anyway, let's see. Okay, Bruce, you're reading too much into it. I get it. But at the end of the day, Stephen A. was at the game. Right. So why you didn't see him before the game? Why you didn't see him after the game? Where y'all could have hashed it out, to Henny Hardaway's point, like men, because you didn't want to do it that way. You didn't want to do it that way. I'm not a pocket watcher, Edward. I'm making a statement that that's not how billionaires move. Billionaires don't run up on people. They get stuff done. That's what I'm saying. Brian, great point. No one is talking about Luka Doncic now. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's an outstanding point, bro. Outstanding point. Yeah, that's real. I did not think about that. Let's see. It's not that serious. What if Rich Paul and Stephen A. Smith planned this? Very possible. Very possible, right? Think about how much money and attention this thing has generated. I'm not mad. All right, let's get back to the commentary from Stephen A. Those are all great points, guys. Appreciate it.
The brother is in the NBA. He is wearing a Lakers uniform. So it's like, wait a minute here. You got to a point where it left you no choice. So then all you could do is speak respectfully, but honestly. And then everybody was caught up in as a father. Yeah. And I'm like, come on, man.
Steve,
come on.
Like that, Steve. This how simple it goes. It goes this simple.
Please.
Let's see.
I haven't always spoken first. There's plenty of times in my career where I've laid back and I haven't said anything and I've waited. It's just that when I spoke,
that's what I'm saying.
That it resonates.
That's what I'm saying.
But
You holding back.
But it's not always first.
But you holding back sometimes works against you because you could have said it when everybody was feeling it and everybody knew it was supposed to come out and you supposed to say it, right? So you holding that Bronny information, you holding on to it, knowing we all saying it, right? And we waiting on stand-up Steve to say it because that's gonna validate it.
Right.
Okay, isn't it weak though?
Yeah.
Like when you think about it, you know he wasn't ready, right? As a father, you're still a father to your son. You're still trying to praise them and make them feel like they're worthy of playing basketball because.
Yo, so even after all this, Gil is still, because if you notice and if you watch the entirety of the interview, Gil didn't have a whole lot to say throughout this whole thing because he knows that he's wrong, but he knows he has to cape up for LeBron somehow. And so this is him making a poor attempt to try to do it.
They can get discouraged at any moment in time, right? So I'm pretty sure every game he's over the line. You got it. Don't worry about it. Just go out there, play the game. That's that part of it. The NBA part knows he's not ready yet, right? But as the father part, him sitting there nervous and shit, you're like, no, hey, relax. You're gonna go out there and play. At what point, when he gets drafted 55, do you supposed to sit back and be like, all right, there's nothing to talk about here?
That's been Gil's argument from the very beginning. He's 55th, he's 55th, he's a 55th pick. Why are we talking about it? As if he cannot comprehend the very simple premise of no one would be talking about it like this if LeBron wasn't the one who put Bronny in the public eye the way he did. I don't understand why Gil is acting like he doesn't. Well, I do. He's on the payroll. But he got to chill because he's making himself look bad. This is a very simple concept here, and he's pretending he doesn't get it.
55. He wasn't 17. He wasn't a first round. His draft status actually let you know what he was.
But what I'm saying to you,
he's at the back bottom.
That very draft status that you pointed to, all of us would have that attitude if his pops hadn't done what he did. So what I'm saying is that because of what he did publicly, we had no choice but to ultimately address it. And as a 55th, all he had to do is this. Listen, I got this moment with my son. All right, now it's time to go to the G League and do what you're doing. And we'll see you next year.
Or let the draft happen organically. And if somebody's going to draft him, let them draft.
There you go. I love what Kmart said to finish out the clip there. If they had let it happened organically, nobody would be talking about it this way. Yeah, Bronny James would still get attention because he's Bronny James. He's LeBron's son. He literally has the man's name, LeBron James, right? That's his name, LeBron Raymond James Jr. So had that happened, right, then yeah, he would have still gotten attention, but it would have been nowhere like this. But LeBron put the spotlight on him with his commentary prior to him being drafted. Then he put more spotlight on him when he got him drafted. And not only did he get him drafted, he got him drafted to the same team. The team being what? The Lakers, the most star-driven, attention-getting, rightly so, organization in professional basketball globally, right? We know what the Lakers represent in terms of star power. Did LeBron really believe that Bronny was going to go through this whole thing unscathed? Come on, man. This is absurd. And this is why, many people, myself, Sid Bubba, and others kind of know like this wasn't all about Bronny. It never has been from the beginning, and it's not now. Henny Hardaway. No, I don't believe Gil gets checks from Clutch, but I definitely believe he's involved in the mechanism. Absolutely. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he used to help to train Bronny earlier when Bronny was younger. So like he can't be critical now the way he wants to be. He can't, but he knows what it is. He just can't be. Just like Nick Wright is, he's loving that LeBron ran up on Stephen A and did what he did. If you listen to his commentary about it, it's totally on the opposite spectrum of mine. Why? Because, he's in that circle. He's in that Clutch circle. So he has to play a certain role and he's got to talk a certain way. All right. But this was really interesting. Like I said, I really would encourage you to go and listen to this whole interview. It's about maybe 2 hours, 20 minutes, something like that. But it's really worth listening to. If you don't have the time, I heard somebody say they don't have the time earlier. put it on 1.5 or 2 times speed. It'll get you through it a lot faster. But it's really, really worth listening to. It's also entertaining. And it's not just about this Stephen A. with LeBron situation. Stephen A. talks about a lot of other things. He talks about the GOAT debate. I think he talks about the league now in terms of the MVP debate and so on. So he speaks some really good stuff. Very entertaining interview. So this is what I'm going to do now. Damn. Man. Transformer, you got no patience, man.
Skip all that. Skip all that.
Damn.
You wrapped up the segment. It's okay. That took long enough. That's slow cooker. We want air fried food, sir.
You know
we want air fried fingered food, okay?
You know what you are? You are indicative of the modern generation, which can only digest things in 30-second clips. And I don't do that. Exactly. I gotta cook slow. That's how I get down. What you got, Transformer?
The slow cooker, all right, saves the fat and the grease inside of your food.
Tastes better. Go ahead.
Air fried food doesn't do that. All right, so
it don't taste as good.
Nitty-gritty. Oh yeah, it does.
It does not.
Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, so listen up. All right, let me make this very, very clear. First of all, what up, Chat? All right, Chat, you guys have been doing a great job with the engagement. I love what you guys are doing. All right, keep the likes coming. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. If you're new to the channel, we welcome you. All right. I know.
Yes, indeed.
And I'm gonna say it right now. We're sorry for Bruce's nonsensical topic that he has this morning. All right. So let me go ahead and nip this in the bud. First, most importantly, Stephen A. LeBron James. It was unprofessional. All right. This shouldn't have happened that way. It all depends on it's all about your moral compass on where you stand on how you approach another man. I'm not here to tell people how to be a man, what way to be a man, what's manly, what's not. My opinion, my topic, Bron was wrong for how he did it. Let me just make that forefront. He was wrong for how he did it. There was plenty of other ways for people to come at Stephen A. about this. However,
here come the BS.
It makes me think a little deeper. This ain't no BS. This makes me think a little deeper. There are multiple things that's happened over the last week. LeBron James crosses 50,000 points. Media blows us up. It all wraps in a picture. Stephen A. I ain't gonna say finally admits, talks about how Bron is the GOAT of longevity. However, still second to him in the GOAT debate against Michael Jordan. All right?
No question.
Fair. What happens next? All right, Stephen A. signs a 4-year, $100 million deal, $25 million on year average, blows up the internet. Big deal, right? This game, where did they play?
Say again?
Where was this game that's taking place with this LeBron Stephen A. thing? Where was the game?
In LA.
You sure?
Yeah. It was in LA.
Okay. All right. It was in LA. Who was it again?
The Knicks.
The Knicks. All right. So, biggest stage, two of the biggest teams. You got the Mecca of basketball, New York City. Stephen A. Smith, who all of a sudden wants to show up in LA because New York is playing against the Los Angeles Lakers. Why would that game be the game he comes to and LeBron makes this conversation? I personally believe this is on the stage. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to the freaking show. And we're eating popcorn, drinking our freaking ices that they have at the movie theaters, and we're entertaining it. This is a stunt if I haven't seen one. Too many great things have happened for both of these guys in the media, whether it's in the court, whether it's off the court. Two major things happening. We've been having these discussions about how the NFL has been bullying the NBA for so long. What does the NBA do to change that? Hey, let's make the biggest trade that nobody ever seen happen and send the Slovenian Kings to the Los Angeles Lakers for an Anthony Davis. And we know Anthony Davis is injury prone, a little bit older, and he's not going to be the 10-year future for the Dallas Mavericks. Let's make this happen. On top of that, let's not even publicize it to the other teams that we're going to make this happen. Let's backdoor this trade for Luka Doncic to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. Guess what happens in the media? It blows up. Lakers are the top of the conversation. LeBron James, can he do it for Luka Doncic? How is he going to compare with Luka Doncic? Luka Doncic, welcome to LA. How is he upset? How does he feel about this entire move? The media blows up. Now that that's dwindling down, this has been about a month. That's dwindling down a little bit. How else can I get us back in the topic of conversation?
Let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you a second. You must have missed while I said that this kind of lines up perfectly. While I'm agreeing with a whole lot of what you're saying, you must have missed all that while you were rushing me to get through everything. Go ahead.
Did I say you didn't, or is this my turn to speak?
Mm-hmm. So you out here just repeating, but go ahead.
No, because a lot of people in the chat don't know me. All right, they always see me defend everything LeBron says. All right, so they put me in a category that I don't belong in.
You do not belong in that category.
What I said, and I do not belong in that category. That's why I repeated it. So let me cook. You did the slow cooker. I'm doing the air fry too. Thank you so much. Sit back and relax and be quiet.
I'm gonna do that. You cook.
All right. So we go into this retrospect now that the NFL has been really in the league for so long. They finally have a chance to seize an opportunity where they're one of the most talked about stories in the league. What's been happening in the NFL over the last 2 days?
Free agency period opened up.
Free agency period has opened up. They have been the topic of conversation. How can the NBA seize back control of a moment? How can we do that? How about let's get the biggest star of sport broadcasting in Stephen A. Smith, and let's get the NBA's biggest star in LeBron James, and let them have a non-foreseen confrontation in LA in the middle of a game against the New York Knicks. How about that, NBA? Adam Silver says, check the box, let's make it happen. So now we've had not one, not two, not three, not four, LeBron James. Big conversations from Stephen A. Smith, elaborating more and more and more. And do notice how Stephen A. is leaving, what do you call that? Not eggshells. He's leaving
breadcrumbs.
Easter eggs. Yeah, Easter eggs, breadcrumbs. He's leaving breadcrumbs in every single conversation where he's adding a little bit more.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Letting you get a little bit more of a taste.
I like it.
A little bit more of a taste. You know what I mean?
So you'll come back for the next one.
You will come back for the next one.
Yes.
Why did the ESPN or Disney, I'll say Disney, why did Disney give me that $100 million check? Because I know how to make things happen within the media. I'm one of the biggest stars in the media. Let's go head to head with the biggest star in the NBA. That's what this truly is. To me, that's what this truly is, because this is unforeseen circumstances that are happening. Because LeBron James can't do that with Paul Boston. You can't do that with Kendrick Perkins. You can't do that with Magic Johnson.
Nope.
All right, Magic Johnson is a winner in every single thing.
Yup.
All right?
and he could look him right in the eye.
He can look him right in the eye. All right? They're pretty much the same freaking height. All right. But Stephen A. is the biggest mogul in sports in a broadcasting standpoint.
Yeah.
LeBron James is the biggest mogul in basketball, period, at this point in the NBA. Let's make these guys clash. Let's make the news. Let's make the headlines. Let's make this bigger than what we can foresee this actually happening. Because do we need to talk about Bronny? We don't. All right, the man to me, and this is my personal opinion, the man is busting his ass in the TV. All right, so let's call it first. So he's busting his ass. I think, and this goes back to what me and you've been doing lately, Bruce. This goes back to shining light on what's on the future of the NBA. All right, let's talk about the progress this kid is making. From when we thought this man was going to be nothing, he ain't even going to make it in the G League. He's not going to do this. He's not going to do that. The kid is averaging about 24, 5, and 5 in the G League. So bravo to the kid. He's silent. He's in his own lane, and he's doing his thing. So bravo to him. All right. But bringing him back up in the conversation, again, brings more attention back to what matters most, the dollar. The dollar. The NBA's like the dollar. The NFL can't keep taking these dollars from us. And we're just too oblivious to, we're constantly talking about LeBron. There's always something to talk about LeBron. And Stephen A. is always saying something that puts himself in a situation. It's always right before a contract. When Stephen A. does something or something happens to Stephen A., right before his contract time or right during contract time. Did you see that?
I didn't think about it that way. No, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's always something big that happens with Stephen A. Smith when it's contract time. The dollars matter.
Agreed.
The dollars matter. The drama matters. The world these days and times love drama. Drama gets more publicity than the actual facts and games that are played.
That's correct.
It does. The dollars come from the drama. Let's make the drama.
So real quick, doesn't that say something about the state of the game on the floor right now? Yes, as we talked about last night on the members only show. By the way, if you're interested in seeing that, become a member of the channel. Anyway, as we talked about, the future is bright. But as for right now, the state of what's going on the floor, that tells you if the drama is making more, getting more attention than the actual play on the floor, there's a problem. But go ahead.
I mean, and you're not wrong. I'm not going to disagree with you there. All right, the drop, but that's just the tides of turn. All right, the tides of change and how people accept information, not necessarily the game, just accept information. Right? Everybody tunes in, whether you're a female, male, or whatever, a kid or whatever. You care about the drama. You're like, all right, what's the big storyline? Magic Bird, the big storyline. Rivals since college, made it to the NBA, storyline. All right, Michael Jordan, when he came through, storyline. Kobe Bryant, drama with Shaq, storyline. There's always some type of storyline. Notice that gets talked about more than the actual game itself. So it's always been like that. But we're in an era where there's more social media content, there's more podcasting, there's more opinion stated. Shout out opinion stated. There's more opinions,
right.
More
Shout
opinions, out. Shout out opinion stated. More opinions stated in the media. So of course it's going to get blown even further out of proportion because guess what? Stephen A. has the ESPN platform to talk on. First Take. He has his own show. Think about it again. Let's talk about it on my own show. I can go on Gilbert Arenas, different platform. Let's talk about it again. 9 times out of 10, Shannon Sharp is probably going to invite him to Uncle Say or some show. Let's talk about it again. The dollars, the revenue, it repeats. The cycle continues based off of a 30-second interaction in the middle of a game. That's what this is, man. I'm not going to read too much further into what's happening with LeBron James, Bronny, with LeBron and Stephen A. They're probably backdooring Rich Paul, Maverick Carter, all having a conversation. We got them. The dollars are coming in. The clicks are happening. The bait has been took.
Well, I agree with all of that. I don't disagree. But at the same time, we're content producers, right? So we have
we provide a perspective.
Right. And so we got to provide the perspective which you just so eloquently provided, in that it's likely, unfortunately, manufactured drama. We talked about manufactured, a lot of stuff manufactured around LeBron, isn't it? Anyway, we talked about that.
Whoa, it was manufactured around Jordan too. Let's not forget now.
Not like LeBron, but this is not like LeBron, but this is a different story.
Well, no, because Jordan was on a much grander scale than LeBron. But
we're not even doing that. That's absurd. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is,
how is it absurd when the biggest lie told was that he was retiring when he was actually suspended? The biggest lie ever told in the NBA.
Well, it's never been proven that that he was suspended. That's the thing.
He proved it. Okay, that's the back lie. How about the flu game too? We love them red and black Jordans. The flu game. Oh, the man had the flu. Come out, the man was just drunk.
No, he wasn't drunk. No. He got food poisoned in Utah.
That man was drunk.
No, they food poisoned him with the bad pizza in Utah. No, that's been put out there. Yeah.
Is that the flu?
It's not the flu.
So still a lie. But the media ran with it. They named the entire shoe the flu game.
Well, they found out later.
Make it make sense.
No, they found out later about the food poisoning. It was reported at that time as the flu. Look, we're not getting into the Jordan LeBron debate. That's not what this is about. Yeah, no, seriously. We can talk about it later, definitely. Yes, Brian, do not buy pizza in Salt Lake City. That's correct. Great point, Go Cast Hoops. Who gets a fever from drinking alcohol? I don't drink, so I wouldn't know, but that doesn't sound like it makes a lot of sense to me.
It's called a hangover, by the way.
No, but you don't get a fever from that as far as I know.
Some people actually do. Yeah.
Okay, well, look, I can't argue that one at all.
If you're in Florida and you go to the beach and you drink out in that sun, it's called day drinking. If you're ever in Florida, go out to the beach and go day drinking. It starts from 10 a.m. and it lasts about 3, 4 p.m. Watch your fever rise the next morning.
Well, it sounds like you have experience, so I'm not. I'm not.
Nah, bro, that's just a heat hangover.
But
you've been in the heat too long. You've been drinking all day.
But yes, we're way off topic here. But the real deal is, while I don't disagree with a lot of what you're saying here, we'd still be doing a disservice if we didn't cover this as if it was how it happened, and discussing the perspective that we had. So we can share this one, but we also got to talk the other one. Like, okay, we'll look at it on its face. We'll listen to the commentary. We'll talk about what we saw. So that's kind of where I've been with this. And then also,
we make our value.
Right. And then also the crazy part is that, like you said, I love the breadcrumbs that Stephen A is doing, because with each progressive interview, I did. With each progressive interview, we're getting more. So I'm like, this is cool. All right.
Because guess what? All of a sudden, Stephen A heard after the fact that LeBron James talked to Richard Jefferson, and he added more. So guess what? Stephen A, let me add more. It's a back and forth.
Yeah.
They about to scream this. ESPN said, Stephen A, but you about to earn this $100 million. You about to earn it. Like,
well, you think we just gave you that as a gift?
You think we just gave you that? No, absolutely.
Right.
You think we're going to package this $50K and not put you in something else?
Right.
Stand the hell by. Stand by. But that's my take, man. I know I elaborated a little bit long, guys.
No, you're good, man.
On the show, and I'm actually a co-host, so I actually don't accompany by the 5-minute rule that you guys are going to provide by. So, yes, this is our show. I'm not just a viewer. This is our show.
This is our show.
So I can talk. Hey, man, y'all be easy. I'm going to stay tuned. I'm in the gym right now. Let me finish up my workout. I just want to throw that little tidbit out. If you guys want to respond to me, please feel free to @ me in the chat, Transformer. Give me your take on what I said, and then we can continue to keep the party rolling, man. But I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And I'll look back at the boy. I'll be back.
Yeah, absolutely, Brian Hawkin. All right, brother. Appreciate you. Yeah, you could call in if you want, man. It's scrolling on the bottom and it's big on the screen. Anybody who wants to call in who's listening, man, we love to hear the interaction from you guys. That's why we made the show the way we did, because we want to be able to hear from you guys. We love what you do in the chat.
While you're there, we love interacting with you guys, right? But do know, we try to keep this program to a certain time frame, okay? So as we get more and more viewers, and granted, we love that we're getting more and more viewers, that's why we're providing time limits on the conversation. Because you guys all have great things to say. We love you guys' perspectives. We love you guys' views, because it's different from ours. And that's what makes a great show a great debate, right? That's what makes it that, right? But we have to be mindful of the time frame. So that's why we're implementing a little 5-minute rule to help you guys steer straight to the point of the conversation.
Right.
That way we can move on to more callers, and we can move on the show. So we thank you guys for being patient with us as we're doing this channel. And again, keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming, for sure.
No doubt. Sid Bubba, I think you just tried to call, man. Call back. Hey, the call just dropped.
Yeah, call in. Hang up the phone, man.
All right, brother.
All right, bro.
Sid Bubba, go ahead, call us right back. Brian Harkin, the numbers on the screen. Want to hear from you. SAS was out of line. No, Nino, SAS was not out of line. I disagree. So obviously love hearing from you as well. What we got? Brian Harkin, are you not in the States? Did you just try to call with WhatsApp? Yeah, go ahead. Try that again, Brian Harkin. I think that was you. I don't know. Somebody tried to call with WhatsApp just now. So whatever it was, just go ahead and give us a call. Sid Bubba waiting for you as well. All right, there we go. Sid Bubba, what's going on? What's going on? How you doing, Chief?
Oh, man, I'm doing pretty good, boy. Don't great minds think alike. Transformer didn't get a chance to hear me out. He sounds just like
No doubt. What you got, man?
I kind of really thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we making such a big stink out of Bronny? And I say it like this: if Bronny failed in the NBA, if he just failed, he didn't do nothing at all.
Nope.
His daddy got a $750 million production company and got influence for Clutch Sports. And he's already worth $10 million.
There you go.
So I'm just trying not only follow the narrative, I'm following the money. So there's got to, so that's like I said, Bronny's just a pawn. The boy would have been all right anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, so if LeBron did, man, I'm not going to say the league is rigged, But
Right. They're certainly enjoying this.
they're certainly enjoying it.
What's going on, Kareem Duncombe, Brooklyn? Stand up. My bad, Sid. Go ahead, man.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, you know, if Bronny was a politician's kid or another businessman kid, you know, those guys hire idiots to be in the company anyway to get money out of it. So, yeah, because one guy, Tyson Foods, his son's a drunk, and he's the CFO of $1 billion company.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm getting at is, back to what I said at first, Bronny just ain't that big of a deal because he ain't really doing nothing on the court that's any significant.
Right. Now, be careful. The LeBroniac's gonna come for you and tell you how he killing in the G League.
You gotta follow the money. Well, he's not doing it as of yet.
Right.
As of yet, right. So you know, so even if the young men fail, he got backup, like serious backup.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at. Stephen A. I think he's eating this up. He couldn't even script it. It just couldn't get no better.
Right. This is perfect.
Couldn't get no better.
Yeah, for real.
And maybe he knows what you know. Just sit back and wait and see what's gonna happen with LeBron.
Trying to tell you. All you gotta do is sit back and wait every time.
But I think that's Bron's part. But then too, I think they also got another master plan though. Think about it.
There's always another move. There's always another move.
The other move is this. Okay, Bron can't own Clutch Sports because it's against the league. It's against rule league. However, this man's a billionaire, and he's trying to position himself a way in for ownership. Watch what I tell you. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
All these are power play moves. All of them are power play moves, man. I get what you're saying, Laker Nation, but the boy, if he was that good, then we could make a story of it. We know he LeBron's son, but what is he doing for us as Lakers?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I'm coming. I'm being a petty Laker fan just like you. It's about what LeBron or his son can do for us. How is it going to benefit us?
Right.
You know how it's benefiting? This man don't have to really play. He's getting a lot of money coming in. This is a money grab if I don't see one coming.
You don't say.
That's what it's about. It's narrative, power. The thing is money.
No doubt. Peace, Laker Nation. Appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, Kareem, you're 100% right. But that was a really good interview on Gil's show. I definitely enjoyed it. So, it was cool.
So, now watch how Gil's opinion might change because Gil did say this a few times. Stephen A's my new boss. I'm not going. He said that a few times. He said something similar to the effect of that. Out of that $100 million, you don't think Gil's finna, Stephen A finna look out for the brothers? Why did he have to go on Gil's show after that to go to the brothers? He knows how hot Gil's show is. Come on, man. Brothers, we got to read tea leaves.
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, but this is all super interesting, man. And I know that there's some people that say all you can talk about is LeBron, but this is a hot story. And honestly, it's interesting, and I'm enjoying covering it. I'm enjoying all the waves it's making, and to the point that you made and Transformer made, and some of the other people in the chat. The NBA is loving this, and this is just huge in terms of content generation. We're all loving it. All of us content creators, the big major media outlets, everybody. This is fantastic. So, hey, keep it coming.
Charles might not like it.
I know, right? All you fools and dummies ever talk about is the Lakers. Lakers and LeBron.
But that's about it, man. That's what I'm saying. It don't smell right. It just never smelled right at the beginning. And then I'm just sitting back watching and taking notes.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. You got anything else, man?
Nah, I'm gonna keep it short, unlike my shipmate there.
All right, brother. Hey, I appreciate the call, Chief. You be good out there, man.
All right.
All right, brother. All right, hold on, y'all. I am going to, let me see if I can do this. I'm going to try to call Brian Harkin back. Let's see what we can do. All right, let's take Nino and then we'll call him back. Nino, what's good, my brother? How are you, sir?
What's good, Bruce? How you doing?
Man,
hey, you working, man. Hey, every time I get up, you got you on. Hey.
Look, man, this cat LeBron, man. You know, LeBron and Stephen A, they giving us a lot right now, aren't they?
They is giving us a good country.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
Now, it's kind of what I said the other day, though. I feel Stephen A was out of line, but for only one comment that he made.
Okay, what was it?
He said something that I haven't heard the other one say. I heard Magic say, "Hey, he ain't ready. He need to be in the G League. He got potential." Everybody else say, "Hey, you got to give him a chance to go to the G League because he ain't ready for the NBA." I told you what triggered the whole situation. I don't think it was rigged. When Stephen A said, "I'm coming to you as a father, man. Don't do this to him." And if you think about it, you'll think he's sending him to the streets or something. Even if he failed at basketball, he said failed at basketball. People would say that. And I heard, and okay, I'm from Mississippi. And I give you props because I Mississippi root for Mississippi, and you bring up his name a lot. And you know his real name now, but his name Chris Jackson.
Yeah, yes, sir. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. That's my man.
So if the NBA was merit based like everybody say, why was he out the league so fast?
Right.
Or was that politics?
Politics.
So politics been in the NBA. I don't want to hear no business is gonna be business. DeMarcus Cousins, they don't like his attitude. He ain't in the league.
Got him up out of there.
Bronny good for business. It ain't just because he Bron's son. Which Bron wanted him on the Lakers, so the Lakers had to. I think that was. I told you they be cutting deals. That probably was part of how Bron got to LA. Hey, my son coming up now. Y'all want me up there? I've got these movies to shoot. This what it's gonna be. It's always some sideline deals going on.
Right. Absolutely.
So that is probably why Bron ended up staying in LA instead of going to Golden State or going somewhere. Like, man, we're gonna draft your son, bro. Don't worry about it. We ain't worried about what nobody else talking about. We're gonna draft him right here. Might get him a couple looks at the league. So and Bron ain't crazy. He seen he was struggling. But when you say as a father, and you go back to what I said last time, Bron didn't have that, so he probably trying to overcompensate as a father.
And you know what's
to do. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Nino, I had never thought about it that way until you said it, and I was like, that's fair. I never even thought about that. That was a really good point and a really good perspective. So I thank you for sharing that to give me an opportunity to see it from that angle. Because I definitely was, going in on him for the way he behaves, but that's a very fair perspective, and I hadn't even thought about that. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, and people say rich. Well, and I believe you're these type of guy because I heard you talk. Rich just means you got more money than everybody. You can buy more stuff. You still sensitive to something. You still got problems, and you ain't no better than the next man. You just got more money than them. And I heard people tell you all the time, and people say that to you. Oh, you jealous of LeBron? I'm like, and I be with you on that. Like, what's it to be jealous of the next man for? We don't live that way.
Thank you. Right. Like I've never had what he has, so I don't miss it. Right.
Yeah.
And
you don't respect his game, you just don't respect his game.
Yeah.
You got that right.
Oh, Dominique, what's good, miss? What's good? Good to see you. Thank you for popping in today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe for me, okay? I appreciate you being here. Yeah, go ahead, Nino.
But the thing that triggered the whole situation was, and I sent you the clip so you'll be able to see it. And he said, after father, I'm pleading with you. And Rick Paul called. They said Rick Paul called him. And he mentioned it. And Stephen A said that ticked him off.
Oh, okay.
So like, why you calling me?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that where all this started from. It's probably a trigger. The as a father thing is probably one of LeBron's triggers.
It could be.
We heard him say worse. We had people say worse about Bron, like you said. And we haven't heard him say nothing for 20 years.
No, that's a great point. I would just say the as a father thing, how I took that, and obviously I can't tell you how LeBron took it. I took it as Stephen A. trying to say what he had to say, but put a real soft, feathery, cushion on that. And so he says, how can I approach this so it doesn't seem I'm going at Bronny? And he says, as a father, because obviously Stephen A. has 2 children of his own, so he's feeling that he can kind of reach out to him and connect to him over that bond of fatherhood and say, as a father, I'm telling you, don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. That's why communication is key.
Yeah.
I don't believe Stephen A. probably didn't even mean it. I'm not trying to say Stephen A. meant it that way. I'm trying to say it's probably certain things. That's the way LeBron heard it. Even though Stephen A. didn't mean to say it that way.
Right.
It's the way LeBron heard it.
Yeah.
So which would be, they probably should have had the conversation. Bron probably should have waited, He probably should have waited and been able to talk to him like, hey, man, and then Stephen A. could have said, no, I was trying to say like this. But what I got out of it, I like to see them talk face to face, which it should have been at a different time. But we need more of that because I feel like it's too much internet, too much podcast, too much.
Hey, there could never be enough podcasts, Nino. I said there could never be enough podcasts.
No, I'm talking about podcasting about this, not podcasting as far as.
I got you. I was just messing with you, man. I was just messing with you.
But a lot of these podcasts, people be talking crazy. Like Mace and them and Tennis Sharp and every podcast you'll have people talking like when Charles Barkley said that about Kendrick Perkins. And people said Kendrick Perkins wrong for responding. I'm like, how?
No, he's not. He's not.
Idiot fool.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I think that was fair.
I be seeing people talk crazy about you, and I'm like,
it's all good.
Would they really? I don't know, y'all. It's different, man. But that's what I believe. Man.
We got to learn to deal with that. When you're in this space, everyone's not gonna like you. You're gonna have people who disagree with you, some very vehemently. You got to deal with that. So it's all good, man. Takes a little getting used to, but so
yeah, But that's just my take. He said something that triggered Bron, that Bron probably took him over the top.
That's fair. That's fair. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man. I'm tuned in, man.
Appreciate you, Nino. No doubt. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Hold up, y'all. Let's see if we can get Brian Harkin on the line. I think he's calling from overseas, so let's see what we got.
Yo.
Brian.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. This is Bruce from the Format Podcast. What's going on, my man?
How you doing, Bruce?
Doing all right. Where are you calling from, man?
I'm from Ireland.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't recognize the country code. Well, listen, man, thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. What you got? Brian, you there?
Just went.
Okay.
Yeah. Connection went. Oh?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, all I want to say is, publicity stunt. I 100% believe that, right? People stop talking about Bronny. He's doing his thing, right? If it wasn't a publicity stunt, you could take Stephen A. aside. You could send somebody over with a note. Meet me here in a certain place after the game,
right?
Where we talk in private, right? Instead, he does it in front of 20,000 people, or 15 with cameras, right? His back, right? Stephen A's back is back to the crowd, where you look at the optics of it, right? LeBron James is talking to him directly to a crowd of people with cameras, right? the optics of that tells me publicity stunt.
Listen, quite possibly, man. I wouldn't put it past him, right? Because this guy is the absolute master of, media manipulation, and that's fine. That's helped him to get to, the position where he is now. And so it wouldn't surprise me in the least. That said, Stephen A is rolling right along with it, and so is the NBA. So it's very possible.
Absolutely, right. If you think of it this way, right? Stephen A, he's going to clap back.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to say something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even if Stephen A. Smith was not involved in it, he's going to talk about it.
He sure is.
Right? Somebody's going to put a camera in front of him. Somebody's going to ask him something. He's going to go on a podcast. He's got his own podcast. He's going to talk about it, right? So now what's everybody talking about? Everybody's talking about LeBron James. The optics is LeBron James is a good father, right? LeBron James is protecting his son.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at the optics of it, LeBron James put his son in that position.
Absolutely.
So that's the optics.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% optics, with you.
Right. Right. So if you put your son in that position and then, he gets criticized, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you go to? Who do you go to in front of 20,000 people or 15,000 people to talk about it? Who do you confront, right? A guy who's physically not imposing to you,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
A guy who's one of the biggest names in the media, right? A guy who's got a mouth bigger than
right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's gonna it's gonna power publicity.
Mm-hmm.
And what does publicity bring? Money.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, right? And LeBron James knew exactly what he was doing. Even at the time, if Stephen A. Smith wasn't involved in it originally,
mm-hmm.
right? Stephen A. Smith, he's on the ballot for the Democrat thing in 2028. They're talking about, right? What great controversy. Look how Trump got in office, right? Controversy, right? This.
Wow. Okay.
Right? It wouldn't surprise me if this was a publicity stunt. It wouldn't surprise me if they were both involved. And this is more people talking about just not Bronny James, just not LeBron, right? But they're talking about Stephen A. Smith, right? This is more fuel to that, right? It adds both to them. Controversy sells, right? It could just be that too, right? So, we have to think of it in the larger sense of what could this mean for Stephen A. Smith in the future? Just not contract negotiations, but if he really is on a ballot,
mm-hmm.
He's already in everybody's mouth. If if this is the idea where they might be going, this is great controversy. This is great storytelling
mm-hmm.
from the NBA, from LeBron James, from Stephen A. Smith, from Bronny James, and right. If you think about it, also, Luka Doncic was the story in LA. What's the story now?
LeBron and Stephen A.
This works out for everybody.
That's
in
right.
The LeBron James camp, Stephen A. camp.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's my whole thoughts on this.
No, those are great points, man. Great points, man. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it, man.
No worries, man.
Yeah,
and have a good show.
Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate you tuning in, man. Make sure your notifications are on so you know when we go live, and you make sure when we drop content. So you're always welcome to watch and enjoy. Join the chat, call in when you like, man. So yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
100. Have a good one, man.
No doubt. Hey, Brian, before you go, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. So my guy Steve and I in the chat. Are you an American football fan?
I am not. No.
Okay, so I don't know.
Sport.
I got you. So I'm sure you have heard of Notre Dame football, though, the Fighting Irish.
I've heard of Notre Dame. Yep.
Yeah. So Steve and I are diehard Notre Dame football fans. So when he heard you, he put "Go Irish" in the chat. So that's what we say. So it's always "Go Irish." So that's you now. That's you now, Brian.
That'll work. That works for me, man. Hey, have a good one.
Yes, you too, man. Have a great night.
Peace. Peace, man.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Was that our first international caller, guys? I think it was. I think it was our first international caller. We have another guy who follows the show from Australia, so the timing is often tough for him. Nick Wonderworker, he was in the chat a couple days ago. I was hoping that he would call at some point or other, and maybe one day he will. But that was awesome to hear from Brian all the way from the Emerald Isle of Ireland. So thank you, man. Really appreciate the love. Anybody else want to call in? I'll take one or two more. I'll give it a couple minutes, see if anyone else wants to call in. Dominique, where are you? I'd love to hear from you. Give us a shout. So yeah. Yep. Yes, it is, Transformer. Yes, it is. Let's see. If Clutch showed up to my old man's league and watched me cook, I may get a contract too. Cook, Steve, cook. That's awesome. Pippen and Hardaway's sons both in the league and not a bit of drama. That's a fact. No, you're 100% right. What's up, Chuck? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just we got what we got, man. But again, LeBron clearly subscribes to no such thing as bad publicity, and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, here's my guy. Bruce, what up?
What's up with y'all boys?
Chilling, man. Good to see you. What you got, my brother?
First of all, I watched. I watched those shows for yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And you sent she was sending little shots at me, but it's all love.
I wasn't sending shots. I wasn't sending shots at all, man.
He was like, in the beginning, I've been calling Mr. No. I'm the only one who call you Mr. Know It All.
Nah, you you and your girl Dominique in the chat, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Nah, real talk though. I've been getting called that my whole life, man. It's nothing new. So I just,
It's all love, man.
No doubt.
Hey, I watched the whole interview yesterday. It was great.
It was.
Even though everybody considered Stephen A. Cole be corny sometimes. I think seriously though it's a real. I call him a Cole sometimes, but I sat back and thought about it. Like Stephen A. a real one though, yo. I ain't gonna lie.
I wanted to ask you. None of us are gonna agree with everything that somebody else does or says. I get that.
Yeah.
But I did want to know what you thought of some of the things that he does to like help brothers out. Like what you thought about any of that.
Man, Stephen A. a real one, man. Stephen A. pull up on the Gilbert Arenas. He'll put camera on in the morning show. He'll have guess you wouldn't even expect on the show. He'll put he'll give a chance. He'll give Ocho a chance to come on first. They can do his thing. See what they a real one, yo. He is though, yo. Because Rashad McCants and Kenyon Martin been calling him out for down there half a year.
That's right.
And for him to actually show up to the show with all black and looking like Nino Brown and shit.
Yeah, I was like, look how this dude came through. Caller from New York. I see you. Caller from New York. Give us. Let me finish this call, and then you could call in. Yeah, go ahead, Bruce. I'm sorry.
People get back to when they speak his mind or his opinion. A lot of people don't agree with some of his opinions about things,
and that's fair too.
Yeah, but a lot of times he be right about stuff. It's just, I guess, it's just him saying it. You know what I'm saying?
But I got you.
See, they're a real one though, man. Like, let me try to call him a Cole, but he put a lot of people on though, yo. He put a lot of people in position. You can't call him a Cole though. He did too much. He did too much for the black for the African American race, yo. He looks out, man. He a real one. I think he was a real one for pulling up the Gilbert Arenas because it was a hostile environment. Because Rashad McCants did all that big politically talk, saying what's up. Scream my name, calling them niggas and doing the body bag thing and come on, pull up, nigga. Yeah, fuck you gonna do.
I ain't really. Yeah.
Kenyon Martin, and for him to address Kenyon Martin and talk about he didn't know, he don't remember when Kenyon Martin pushed up on him. I watched the whole interview.
Yeah, I thought it was good, man. I thought it was. Yeah, I agree.
It was a great interview, man. It had me at the edge of my seat, but it's cool to see that grown men can sit down and really actually talk, even though they had differences. That's how men are. We ain't like women. A woman will break up with stop being a friend with her best friend for 30 years because she missed the birthday dinner. We ain't like that. We can sit down and iron our differences out like men. Yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? We can do that. We're not. Most men don't go off emotions, but as far as like the Bronny thing, like I say, man, Hey, Mike, you talk about it was. I don't think LeBron did it for publicity, man. I think he actually was just in a heated moment. You know, you hooping and your energy good.
I mean, could be.
Even they said it happened in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So he was sitting. He actually was sitting right next to the Laker bench. Like, and how you say he looked over at Bronny and see Bronny's sad face. And he said all this happened in the third quarter. I don't think LeBron, like, it wasn't for no publicity. I think it was a heated in the moment. I think there's years of build up. It's more than just Bronny that why he expressed himself is more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched the episode with Jason Wilbard said they've been doing this since high school towards him. Like, I guess the years of like they say, okay, people say he endorsed Skip Bayless. So why he pulled up more Skip Bayless? Why he pulled up more such and such?
Mm-hmm.
I just think I just don't think he liked Stephen A. Smith. I think he got more respect for those other guys.
That's very possible.
But I'm pretty sure has he ever bumped into Skip Bayless? I don't even think he'd never seen Skip. I think he'll do the same to Skip too. He's seen him. If that was Skip, you think he would say what that said to Skip Bayless if Skip Bayless was sitting next to the bench? But I think when Magic be getting on them and perking on them, I think it's a little bit more respect. I just don't think he likes Stephen A. As far as Bronny, like Stephen A. said on the show, I think he did. I think Stephen A. did too much with that one show when he was like, "I pleaded with you."
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, he probably. I think he added a little extra sauce on that. I can agree with you.
That's why I think LeBron probably was mad. Like, it was just too much. Okay, you already said what you had to say on first take that morning. Then you would go on your show again and talk about pleasing with you. A whole soliloquy.
Yeah. It was a bit much. I'm with you.
Yeah, this is too much. Like,
yeah. Only thing I'll say, I don't know if you heard when I said it before, is that I only think the reason that he brought in that whole as a father thing was in order to try and connect with him, that bond of fatherhood, in order to soften the blow of what he's saying about Bronny. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought.
Yeah, because I caught the show. I missed the show because I was busy. I caught that when the callers called there. I missed the show. Yesterday, too, I missed the damn show. I forgot. I didn't even know, for real. But,
hey, we got replays. It's all good, man.
Yeah. I watched them. I watched both. I watched the Members Only one and
Appreciate
the replay. When you were talking about, you call me Mr. Door or hater. Your first little part. Yeah, you talking about me, man. But it's all good, though. But yeah, like I caught the show at the end. Like this, that's what it's basically about. This show is basically just about Stephen A. Your reaction to the interview. That's the basic what it is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I watched the whole interview. I thought it was dope.
Yeah, I thought so
it was
too.
dope for Stephen A. Even to show up, and after this thing, it was awesome how just men just could sit around and have a great conversation about basketball.
Yeah. Agreed.
And put their differences aside. I like Rashad Cash. A lot of people don't like him. He's the oddball of the group.
And I like that. He don't have to drink the Kool-Aid. He gonna tell it.
That's like with me and you. You go right, I go left.
Yeah, no doubt.
You don't like LeBron, I defend him. Like, but he's not a LeBron guy,
right?
Because LeBron used to bust his average. They say LeBron averaged 38 against him.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Go back, if you ever get a chance, tap that up on Gilbert Arenas. They had a real big blow up about that. Like, because LeBron used to bust for sharp, and cat ass, and pause.
Yeah, of course.
Give him work. But they were saying this is the controversy. Boogie Cousins said he did the same thing LeBron did to a fan or celebrity, and they suspended them. And they did suspend LeBron. I seen this shit yesterday on the show. You talk about LeBron should be penalized or suspended for that. I've seen that.
Well, the only reason why is because they did it to Boogie. So, and I think it also sets a bad precedent. You know what I'm saying? When you allow that, more players are going to think they can run up on journalists, and that's not cool at all. That was more so my thought.
But stop that, Bruce. You from Brooklyn? You better stop that soft stuff, Bruce. You from Brooklyn, New York.
But that's not even but that's not the point, though. That's not the point. You know what the point is, Brian. Bruce. The point exactly. That's my point. I'm not worried about like guys running up on reporters and beating them up, but these guys are trying to do their job. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to intimidate him from doing that, you know.
I don't think he's trying to intimidate.
You breaking up, man. You was breaking up. Say it again. You were breaking up there.
I'm sorry. I said everybody thinks Stephen A's a chump. Stephen A ain't no chump.
No.
Stephen A from Queens, New York.
Yeah, I don't think he's a chump at all. I'm just saying it's the premise.
You see, he stood up like a man, like. But I just think that's years and years of years and years of shit. That is not just Bronny, but Bronny a part of it. But there's other stuff he probably was frustrated with Stephen A about from past things he done said. But Stephen A be giving LeBron his flowers all the time.
So that's why I'm like, when old boy was in the chat earlier talking about Stephen A made a career off hating off LeBron. I'm like, what? Nah, man.
Yeah,
Stephen A been one. Yes, he does.
He always call LeBron the second greatest of all time, but he always give LeBron his flowers.
Yeah,
he just
absolutely.
But he all at the same time he critiques him. So it looks like he's flip flopping, but he's not. He's been. That's what he do. That's his job.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Exactly. LeBron, at the same time, LeBron, I don't know, man. It's just, he got cachet in the league. I just think, that's the only thing I think that pissed him off, but he was like, I'm pleading with it. It was too much. Say what you're going to say about the Bronny's game and all that. Please, brother. Stop it, bro.
Like I said, I don't know the man, but it would be my assumption that was the reason that he was doing that. That's my thought. I could be wrong, but that's my thought on why he was doing that.
You know what? I'm gonna get off because I know somebody else trying to call. I ain't gonna hold up all the time. Hey, you the show tonight?
So I was gonna put this out at the end. We're actually gonna do a watch along for the big Celtics Thunder game tonight. So tune in with us. Turn the game on. And you can hear our live thoughts on that. So we're not going to do the normal 4-topic Wednesday night. We're going to try to do a watch along of this big game tonight. So let's see how that works out.
Good. Okay, so you're going to be like participating with the chat
and
stuff like that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I think that's dope.
Yeah, so hopefully.
Goddamn, man. About time you listen to some people.
No doubt, man. I appreciate that, man.
You can't do it all yourself, bro.
Nah.
You can't do it by yourself.
Nah.
I know this your baby. I know this your show.
Nah.
But I team you need a team of, you know what I mean, people to.
I'm working. I'm trying to get there, man. I'm trying to get there.
You need people that fuse ideas to you and
yes, sir.
suggestions you can take heed for.
Absolutely.
But get somebody else call, man. I catch up with y'all later.
No doubt. Hey, but real quick before you go, Bruce, man, I wanted to. I think I said it on the show, but if I didn't, man, wanted to show you love for that. You know, really getting on me about, you know, paying more attention to the NBA and giving love and more positivity to the NBA. Absolutely. As I was, you know, I admit I was guilty of really fostering a lot of negative attitudes toward the league. And so I'm definitely working on trying to do that, be more positive about it. And that show last night, that Transformer and I did, and he got on me about it too. So I'm not leaving you out, Transformer, but you know, I appreciate it.
Ever in my life. Like, God damn.
No, but you know what though? Like I said, and I think you and I talked about it, man. It's beautiful that I really see, like, in the next generation, we're gonna have a good thing because these guys want to ball and they want to compete, and that's love. So thank you for that, man. I appreciate you, Bruce.
Always. All right, I'll be tuned in for the live stream, bro.
No doubt, bro.
I can't wait for the game tonight, but I'll catch up with you.
All right, fam. Easy.
Peace.
All right, y'all. I'm going to take one more quick call, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here because I got a kid to pick up from school. I don't want to leave him on the curb. But Alexander X, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, man. We'll take one more call. Where'd Dominique go? She just popped in, said something and rolled out. I was hoping we could get a call from her. What's going on? Okay. Alexander, what's good, man? How you doing?
Oh, I'm in?
Yeah, you on. Yes, sir.
Oh, I caught you. Oh, for sure. When you say you take one more call, I was like, okay, let me dial up.
Nah, you here, brother. You here, man. What you got?
Oh, man. What I got, I just logged in.
Okay.
But I'm just glad Stephen A. cleared the air on how we felt about the whole thing. And but it didn't. But what was still kind of sad about it was it didn't click to Stephen A. until he saw Key Ken with Richard Jefferson. And that's when it clicked to Stephen A. And I'm like, why did it take all that, man?
Agreed. But you know what? It's all perfect timing. He got the contract done. You know what I'm saying? Now he feel freed. But you notice this is so ill. Like when he's talking about all this, he's really taking the kid gloves off now. He's telling it. He's telling it, and he's exposing all the BS. Like one of the most telling things that he said for me was when they were talking about how Golden State and Phoenix and Boston was looking at drafting Bronny. He's like, is this real, or are they just working their magic to make people feel that way? I'm like, this is the same stuff I've been saying for how long? But when I talk about how this dude manipulates the media, I'm a hater. But now we got the biggest voice in sports media telling it now. Now I want to see. I guess they're gonna call him a hater too. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. I was just talking to my LeBron best friend the other night. He was like, "Yeah, man, he should have taken up his son." I'm like, "Oh my god,
yeah, stupid." So your LeBron best friend didn't realize that LeBron basically pushed his son out in the middle of the street and then got mad when a car hit him, right?
and I asked him like, bro. I asked him like this. So you think Bronny was qualified for the league? He was like, "Yeah, he's a D1 player." I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, sorry one.
but here's my thing. And here's on the flip side with LeBron. I know you gotta get kids and stuff, but on the flip side, LeBron, like we saw how he went at Jaylen Brown, right? And when I'm hearing from the LeBron fans, well, that's Stephen A. That's the biggest sports media guy in the game. Well, I'm saying to myself, you're a Boston guy, right? Boston fan. So I think Jaylen Brown was a lottery pick.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown is he plays in the major market, which is Boston. He's head of the players union.
Yup.
He's the highest paid player in the league.
Second, but yeah.
He shared the stage with Steph Curry in the finals, and then won one, and is a finals MVP, and the controversially left off the Olympic team. We know who Jaylen Brown is, and LeBron just shook his head. So it's like, you can't compare. So LeBron is real picky and choosy. So when he did roll up on Stephen A, the logic is there in the math and the action that LeBron pick and chooses, and he's clearly bullying him, which is a problem. And then I like that, and I like the thumbnail on the Gil Arena headline. A thumbnail. But yeah, that's my thing on it, man. And I just wanted to add my 2 cents on it because it was just a real punk move, and it's going to make LeBron look bad in the long run. People on CNN are crying about this, and I'm like, oh wow, that's big too.
No doubt, man. I appreciate the call, Alexander, man. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you watch the replay back, man. Yeah, this was a good one.
For sure, my G.
All right,
man.
man.
Glad to talk to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
All right, peace.
All right, fam. Have a good one. All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it right here. As much as I'm truly enjoying this live and I'm enjoying kicking it with y'all and enjoying talking to y'all. All right. One more. Who is this, Kareem?
Yes, sir. How you doing there, bro?
What's going on, Brother Duncombe? How are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How's everything, man?
I'm maintaining, man. Glad you called in. What you got?
Yeah, I don't want to hold you up. I know you got to go pick up the stuff, man.
Yeah.
I just want to make this one statement about how these guys really, they pick and choose who they want to come for, man. Because LeBron James, he's the biggest pick and choose. And Stephen A is too, so they match pretty well. Because I'm like, as many people as Stephen A come for, I don't never hear him say, "Oh, he's a great father."
That's a fact. That's
I don't
a
hear him
fact.
say that about any other of these players, man.
Yeah, you're right.
But, I know you got to go, man. I just wanted to shout you out. Salute you. Your show was amazing, man.
I appreciate that, man.
All y'all, man. I appreciate y'all content, man, and continued success.
Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, Kareem. I'm going to lock your number in, man. Don't hesitate to call again in the future.
All right, brother, man. Enjoy your day.
All right, you too, man. Have a great one.
All right, bless him.
All right, y'all. This was a great show. I really got to run. I appreciate all the interaction with you guys. We will be back later on this evening for the Celtics and the Thunder, and we look forward to trying out something new with y'all later, man. So let's go ahead and we'll take a break until then, and y'all have a great afternoon. We'll be back. Peace.